Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a story that, well, it's just sent shockwaves through the sports world, hasn't it? And really far beyond.
It really has. It's just this profound, unexpected loss. So sudden.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're going deep into the recent devastating car accident in Spain, the one that tragically claimed the lives of Diogo Jota, the Liverpool and Portugal footballer, and his brother, Andre Silva.
It's incredibly sad news, and we're going to try and make sense of it as much as one can.
Right. Our mission here is to kind of sift through what we know from various sources: Times of India, The Independent, The Guardian, BBC Sports, CNN, Goal.com, the major outlets.
We want to pull out the key insights, not just about the accident itself, but about who these two young men were, their lives.
Exactly. And the huge impact their passing has had. It's about getting a full picture, comprehensive, but also compassionate.
Yeah.
Trying to understand this whole story as it's unfolding.
Okay, so let's start with the event itself.
Yeah.
The tragic accident happened early Thursday morning, July 3rd.
Right, very early. Reports say somewhere between 12:30 a.m. and 12:40 a.m. local time in Spain.
And the location was the A52 highway, near a place called Cernadilla in the Zamora province.
And the victims, Diogo Jota, just 20 years old, and his brother, Andre Silva, 25 or 26. Some sources mention his full name, Andre Felipe.
They were traveling together in a Lamborghini. The initial investigation, well, what the Spanish Civil Guard is saying, points towards a possible tire burst.
Yeah, apparently while they were trying to overtake another vehicle, which caused the car to go off the road.
That's the report. It veered off-road, and then tragically it caught fire, which proved fatal for both of them.
There's also mention, isn't there, that it's being investigated as a possible speeding incident.
Yes, that's also part of the ongoing investigation. The circumstances are still being fully examined.
And the emergency response, they got there quickly.
Yeah, the Spanish Civil Guard, local firefighters, medical teams, they were dispatched promptly. But tragically, despite their efforts, they couldn't save either Diogo or Andre.
God, it's awful. And the context of their journey just adds another layer of tragedy, doesn't it?
It really does. Jota was apparently driving to catch a ferry.
To the UK, right. For preseason training with Liverpool.
Exactly. And the reason he was driving, reportedly, was because he'd been advised not to fly.
After some minor surgery.
Yeah. So he takes this alternative route, driving, and then this happens. It's just unbelievably cruel.
And the immediate aftermath, their bodies were taken to Zamora, then moved
to Puebla de Sanabria, yeah, for further investigation, and also so the family could sort out the administrative side of things. Getting them released and returned to Portugal.
And there's a wake planned.
Expected Friday, back in their hometown, São Cosme in Gondomar, Portugal.
Okay, let's talk about Diogo Jota himself. His life, his career, cut so tragically short.
An absolute brilliant football career. Started out at Paços de Ferreira in Portugal.
And his path wasn't typical, was it? I read something interesting about that.
No, it really wasn't. A Portuguese sports journalist pointed out he sort of defied the odds.
How so?
Well, he didn't come up through the youth academy of one of the big Portuguese clubs like Benfica, Porto, or Sporting. He made it to the top via a different route.
Which really says something about his determination, his character.
Absolutely. It makes him an inspiration, really. Shows it's possible even without that conventional start. From Paços, he went to Atletico Madrid in 2016. Big move.
Though he was loaned out, right, to Porto.
Yeah, spent time at Porto. Then came Wolverhampton Wanderers Wolves. Initially on loan, then they made it permanent in 2018 for about $14 million.
And he was fantastic for Wolves, really made his name there.
Oh, definitely. Scored, 44 goals in 131 games, helped them win the championship title, get promoted to the Premier League.
And then the massive move to Liverpool in 2020, that was for nearly $45 million, right? Around $41 million.
Yeah, a huge transfer. And he made an instant impact at Anfield. His stats are incredible. 182 games, 65 goals, 26 assists.
That nickname the fans gave him, Jota the Slaughter. It really captured his finishing ability, didn't it? Just clinical.
Absolutely superb finisher. And he won trophies with Liverpool, too.
Right. The Premier League title, that recent 2024-25 season, the FA Cup, the League Cup.
Yep, FA Cup and League Cup, both in 2021-22. And he was a key player for Portugal, too.
Almost 50 caps for the national team.
49 appearances, 14 goals. And he won the UEFA Nations League with Portugal twice. His very last game was actually the Nations League final against Spain.
The one they won on penalties back on June 8th.
That's the one, just weeks ago. It's hard to comprehend.
It really is. And beyond the football, the player. What about the man? The personal side of this tragedy is just devastating.
It's almost unbearable to think about. He just got married.
Yeah, June 22nd, just 11 days before the accident, to his long-term partner, Ruth Tardoso.
They've been together since 2012. A long, long time.
And they have 3 young children, Venice, Duarte.
And a daughter, born just last year, leaving them behind. It's unimaginable.
And the way people described him, it paints a picture of someone really special.
Yeah, the descriptions are incredibly consistent. Extraordinary person, respected by all, someone with an infectious joy.
Humble, hardworking, kind, always there for anyone that needed anything. That's what people said.
Liverpool's manager, Arne Slot, called him a friend to everyone, said he was the essence of what a Liverpool player should be. That's high praise.
It really is. And that point about him defying the odds, coming up without the big academy background, it just adds to that sense of him being an inspiration.
Definitely. And his connection with the fans seems like it was genuine, too, not just waving to the crowd.
Like that story about him sending a video message to a fan who was in the hospital.
Exactly. Or thanking young fans specifically for voting his song their favorite chant after they won the league. Those little touches.
Shows real humility, doesn't it? Real appreciation.
Yeah. It seems he never forgot where he came from or who supported him.
Now, we also need to remember his brother, Andre Silva. He was a footballer, too.
Yes, absolutely. It wasn't just Diogo. Andre had his own career, his own path in football.
He was, 25 or 26? Playing for Penafiel.
That's right. Penafiel in Liga Portugal 2, the second division in Portugal.
Attacking midfielder or forward.
Yeah, played in attacking roles, got 2 goals and 5 assists last season, the 2024-25 season. He was contributing.
In his youth career, he played at Gondomar, like Diogo.
He did. Also spent time in Porto's youth setup and played for other clubs, too. Football was clearly a huge part of both their lives and their family.
Which makes this loss even harder. The world's reaction, though, it's been immense. Just a massive outpouring of grief.
It really has. Liverpool FC put out a statement saying they were devastated by this unimaginable loss and asked for privacy for the family, naturally.
And Arne Slot, the manager, his words were incredibly emotional.
Yeah, he spoke of absolute shock, called Jota a loved one to all of us, not just a player, but, a teammate, a colleague, someone very special in all those roles.
He mentioned Diogo's dream summer, didn't he? Getting married, the Nations League win, and then for it to end like this, just heartbreaking.
Absolutely gut-wrenching. And Jurgen Klopp, who actually signed Jota for Liverpool.
What did he say?
He said he was heartbroken, struggling to find any bigger purpose in it all, which, you can understand.
Yeah. And the Liverpool leadership. FSG's Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes.
They said they were numb with grief, called Jota truly irreplaceable.
And the tributes from teammates, former teammates, just floods of them.
From the Portugal squad, Cristiano Ronaldo said it doesn't make sense. He mentioned being with Diogo just recently at the national team camp and at his wedding.
Bruno Fernandes, too, called him a friend, colleague, and companion of 1,000 battles. Ruben Neves just saying, "I will never forget you." So raw.
Very raw. And from his Liverpool teammates, Darwin Núñez said there were no words of comfort. Said he'd always remember Diogo's smile.
Dominic Szoboszlai, heartbroken and devastated. Alexis McAllister couldn't believe it, remembering his smiles and passion.
Even Raul Jimenez, who played up front with him at Wolves, spoke about how hard the news hit him.
And Liverpool legends chiming in, too.
Sir Kenny Dalglish made that really profound point. Football is not important at this sad time.
Which is so true. And Jamie Carragher said he was in a state of shock, thinking about how fast life can change.
Yeah, it puts everything in perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. And the wider football world responded massively, too.
Yeah, governing bodies like FIFA and UEFA. Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, sent condolences. Alexander Ceferin at UEFA too, he mentioned giving Jota his Nations League medal just weeks ago.
And they held a moment of silence at the Women's Euros games.
They did, a mark of respect across the game. And his former clubs, Wolves, Porto, Penafiel, all expressed their sorrow.
Even rival clubs, right? Manchester United, Everton, sending sympathies. It shows how something like this transcends rivalry.
It really unifies the community, even in grief.
But the reach went even further than football, which is quite remarkable.
It is. Political figures weighed in. Portugal's Prime Minister, Luís Montenegro, and the President, Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, both spoke about Jota honoring Portugal's name.
The UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, sent condolences. Prince William, too, as the FA patron.
And then you have figures from other sports entirely. LeBron James.
The NBA star. He's a minority owner at Liverpool, isn't he?
That's right. He sent condolences. And Rafael Nadal, the tennis legend.
Wow. That just shows the kind of impact Diogo Jota had, reaching people far beyond his immediate sport.
It speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And the public reaction, the fans, just immense sadness.
Yeah, pictures from Anfield showed flowers, scarves, memorabilia piling up.
Fans gathering outside the stadium, singing his song, singing You'll Never Walk Alone. It's incredibly moving.
And the club's response, opening condolence books, both physical and digital, lowering the flags, closing
That
facilities.
shows the depth of feeling, the respect. It's a club in mourning, along with the whole football world.
So wrapping this up, looking at everything we've discussed, this deep dive, it really lays bare the collective shock, the sorrow.
Absolutely. It's not just about reporting the facts of a horrible accident. It's about understanding the huge human impact. Losing these two young men, Diogo and Andre, who clearly touched so many people.
Both on the pitch and off it, in ways maybe we didn't even fully realize until now.
Yeah, definitely makes you stop and think.
It does, and it raises a question, doesn't it? We tend to categorize famous people by what they achieve, their stats, their titles.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see this kind of global outpouring of grief, this deep personal sadness for Diogo Jota and Andre Silva, what does that tell us?
About shared humanity, maybe? The fact that life is fragile?
Exactly, and the power of connection, even with people we might only know through screens or from the stands.
Yeah. How does a tragedy like this make us look at our own lives, the people around us?
Does it compel us to, cherish those moments, those connections a bit more? Recognizing that everyone's story matters profoundly. Something to reflect on.
Yeah.
Definitely.